You click this because either a song can turn your forearms into a rotisserie chicken, or you have been watching the rest of us shiver at a key change like emotionally unstable Labradors. That involuntary rush has a name: frisson. In the next 9 minutes, we are going inside the exact moment your brain predicts a song, gets beautifully betrayed, dumps reward chemicals, and orders every microscopic hair muscle to salute. And that claim that only half of people can feel it, science would like a word. The real numbers are messier, which is researcher language for the internet found one spicy statistic and drove away before anyone could check its license. I am going to explain why music can physically hit you and, by the end, help you improve your odds of getting the chills. It is actually simple. No, it is not. That was a lie. Your skin, reward system, memory, personality, and thousands of hours of accidental music theory are all involved. We have also assigned one goosebump on my left forearm to this investigation. His name is Gary the Goosebump. The first bass note made his single hair stand up, and now he insists he personally arranged the orchestra. Lesson 1. Your skin has tiny panic buttons. A musical chill is a brief mind and body response. You may feel a cold wave, tingling down the neck or spine, a shiver, or goosebumps. Goosebumps are common, but they are not required, because apparently even your emotional climax has optional accessories. Each hair follicle has a microscopic, smooth muscle called the erector pili. When your sympathetic nervous system fires, those tiny muscles pull your hairs upright. In furry animals, this can trap warm air or make the animal look larger. In modern humans, it mostly transforms your arm into a plucked supermarket chicken with opinions about Adele. During strong musical pleasure, studies often find increased skin conductance, faster heart rate, changes in breathing, and sometimes lower skin temperature. Your body is not politely enjoying art. It is activating hardware normally reserved for cold, danger, and the moment your boss types, "Can we talk?" Researchers can track the response because sweaty skin conducts electricity a little better. Your emotional peak is measurable, partly because your palms become extremely tiny, extremely unqualified electricians. Music can trigger the system through sudden acoustic changes without you consciously deciding anything. This does not mean every chill is a fear response. It means the nervous system owns one dramatic special effects department, and both Danger and Celine Dion know the extension. A choir swelled, and Gary the Goosebump activated full emergency posture. He pulled his one hair upright like a suburban dad raising a flag during a neighborhood dispute. Gary has one microscopic muscle and absolutely no jurisdiction. But why would a harmless chord activate emergency hedgehog mode? Lesson 2. Your brain is guessing every note before it arrives. You have spent your whole life absorbing the patterns of your musical culture. Which chords usually follow which chords, when a chorus should return, and how long a singer may whisper before legally exploding into the final chorus. Your brain turns those patterns into predictions. If everything happens exactly as expected, the song becomes elevator music for an office that sells beige carpet. If nothing makes sense, it becomes V12, a dishwasher falling down the stairs. The sweet spot is a surprise that violates the prediction while still feeling inevitable. That inevitable part depends on what you have heard before, which is why a dramatic harmonic twist in one musical culture may sound like Tuesday paperwork in another. Your brain studies music for years without ever paying tuition. That is why chills cluster around crescendos, sudden jumps in loudness, key changes, unexpected harmonies, a new voice entering, a texture suddenly opening up, or the beat returning after a delicious little hostage situation. The music delays what you want, changes the route, then lands somewhere your brain recognizes. One theory calls part of this contrastive valence. Your fast unconscious system reacts to the unexpected event. Then your conscious system immediately realizes, relax. It is a bridge, not a tiger. That shift from alarm to safe pleasure may help create the rush. In plain English, music lies to you beautifully, and you tip it. Gary the Goosebump has now heard 3 pop songs and believes he can predict every drop. He raises his hair 2 measures early, stands there alone like an intern who started the standing ovation, then blames the producer. But the anticipation still matters, because prediction is only half of the scam. What pays your brain for being wrong? Lesson 3. Your reward system splits the bill. In a landmark brain imaging study, People listened to music they had personally chosen because it reliably gave them chills. Dopamine activity appeared in the striatum, but the brain handled the buildup and the payoff in different places. The caudate was more involved during anticipation, the "oh, here it comes" phase. The nucleus accumbens was more involved during the peak, the "there it is, inject the trumpet directly into my mortgage" phase. Your brain has assigned one department to track the package and another to burst through the door with confetti. Later, researchers changed dopamine signaling with medication. A dopamine precursor increased musical pleasure and motivation, while a dopamine-blocking drug reduced them. That supports a causal role for dopamine in musical reward, although music is not chemically identical to food, sex, gambling, or drugs. Please do not tell your doctor you have developed a medically significant addiction to the key change in Man in the Mirror. Earlier work also found that the more pleasure listeners reported, the more their skin conductance and other arousal measures tended to climb. Crucially, a song that lit up one person could leave another person physiologically flat. The orchestra did not forget to send the dopamine. The second listener's brain simply declined the calendar invite. So the chill is not caused by dopamine alone. It is the visible little thunderclap where prediction, emotional meaning, reward, and autonomic arousal pile into the same clown car. The song creates tension. Your brain wants the answer, and the answer arrives wearing sequins. At the payoff, Gary the Goosebump recruits the neighboring follicles into a tiny stadium wave across my arm. He calls it the pillow erection department and has printed badges. We have invented middle management on human skin, but why does your special song work on you and leave someone else staring like a courthouse printer? Lesson 4. Your song is a custom password. Lesson 4. Your song is a custom password. In one experiment, the exact same musical excerpt could cause strong pleasure and body arousal in one listener and almost nothing in another. The sound waves were identical. The meat receiving them had different paperwork. Familiar music often engages emotion and reward circuitry more strongly, and it gives your prediction machine a sharper model of what should happen next. A song may also carry autobiographical meaning. Your first dance, a summer road trip, or the exact Taco Bell parking lot where you decided bangs were a personality. But familiarity is not a magic button. Chill-specific studies disagree about how much it helps. Novelty can surprise you. Familiarity can load the surprise with expectation and memory. Happy music can do it. Sad music can do it. Classical, metal, gospel, film scores, pop, and the Mario Kart soundtrack can all escort a grown accountant briefly into the tunnel of God. This is why a universal chills playlist is a suspicious product. Researchers repeatedly find that loudness, buildups, voices, structural changes, emotional intensity, and perceived meaning matter, but no single recipe works for everyone. Your brain is not Spotify. It is Spotify after inheriting your memories, culture, mood, and 17 embarrassing middle school playlists. There may also be differences in the physical wiring. A small study of only 20 people found that frequent chill responders had greater white matter connectivity between sound processing regions and areas involved in emotion and social processing. Fascinating, yes. Proof that your goosebumps make you an X-Man? Absolutely not. The researchers themselves called the correlations preliminary. Personality matters too. The most consistent link is openness to experience, curiosity, imagination, sensitivity to art, and willingness to let a 7-minute song have 4 endings. A twin study of more than 14,000 people estimated that about 36% of variation in general aesthetic chill tendency was heritable. That is not destiny. It is biology and life experience co-signing a very weird lease. A newer study with more than 2,900 people also found that age, sex, emotional state, personality, and cultural exposure interacted with the particular stimulus. In other words, there is no single chills person. There are microcultures of people, moods, histories, and clips colliding at the right moment. Science has discovered the audience segment known as people currently vulnerable to acquire. Gary the Goosebump says his sound-to-emotion wiring is premium, and therefore he is basically a tiny neuroscientist. Gary is a skin bump with 1 hair and no accredited degree. We will not be peer-reviewing Gary. Instead, let us peer-review the internet's favorite claim. Only half of people can do this. Lesson 5. The 50% statistic is wearing a fake mustache. You will see only half of people get musical chills repeated everywhere, usually beside a stock photo of a woman discovering her forearm for the first time. But a major systematic review found no clean 50-50 split. In several surveys, 79%, more than 80%, 86%, and even 90% reported some form of music-evoked chills over periods of years. Laboratory rates are often lower because the room is strange, the song may be wrong, and nothing murders transcendence like a researcher saying, "Please press button 4 when your soul leaves your body." Definitions also cause chaos. A chill can be tingling or a shiver without visible goosebumps. In several experiments, only around 40 to 57% of people who reported chills showed measurable piloerection. So one headline may be counting the feeling, another the bumps, and a third may simply be counting ad revenue. The responsible answer is that most people appear capable of some kind of music-evoked chill, but they differ enormously in frequency, intensity, trigger, and whether goosebumps appear. A smaller group experiences specific musical anhedonia, meaning music produces unusually little reward despite otherwise normal perception. That is different from not shivering every time Taylor Swift changes key. Your nervous system is allowed to have boundaries. Can you increase your odds? Use music you genuinely care about. Listen attentively, remove distractions, and give the build-up room to work. Headphones may help you notice detail and feel immersed. A strong dynamic change can matter, but louder is not permission to pressure wash your eardrums. Keep the volume safe, you beautiful cochlea gambler. And try the full song, not a 12-second clip wedged between a meal prep video and a raccoon stealing patio furniture. Anticipation needs time to cook. The nucleus accumbens refuses microwave instructions. Also, do not grind the same peak into dust. A recent small study using repeated audiovisual chill stimuli found that the chance of chills fell over successive exposures, although the responders who still got them reported greater intensity and duration. Translation: the replay button may weaken the spell, or it may create one extremely committed wizard. The result is preliminary, so Gary the Goosebump has already laminated it and issued a 1 encore maximum to the other follicles. Here is the most important truth. Chills are not a ranking of who feels music most deeply. If you get them, you are not automatically more creative, empathic, spiritual, or invited to sit in the good chair at the art museum. If you do not get them, you are not emotionally defective. Frisson is one optional body response inside a much larger experience. What makes it astonishing is the conversion. A pattern of air pressure enters your ears. Your brain compares it with a lifetime of predictions, attaches memory and meaning, recruits an ancient alarm system, and pays itself when the pattern resolves. None of the notes are cold. None of them can touch your skin, yet the right arrangement makes your temperature shift, your heart accelerate, and your hair stand up like it has received urgent news. So a musical chill is your whole nervous system turning an invisible pattern into weather. If this video gave your prediction machine a tiny snack, that is going to cost you 1 subscribe. I am flipping the little tip screen around, and today you can like the video, or if you're feeling really generous, you can hit subscribe and like. Gary the Goosebump, stop unionizing the follicles. The chorus hit once, the forearm is not seceding, and nobody approved those picket signs. Cut.